Hey guys, me, Goku64. We're doing a reaction to a compilation of, well, some horror story animated. So, but, cause more than half of these I see, but I'll make sure the stuff like right here, the parts I didn't see, cause some I react to and some I watched someone else react to. So I'll go first watch a compilation of September 2019. So make sure to subscribe channel. Subscribe to Wazzy Entertainment. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below, and you'll get yeah. Oh no. That,
Sick and tired of Joseph.
that. Okay, there we go. Just get to the video. Did I hate why I click another video?
I'm scared of the dark,
I
and I
can't
have a
blame
good
you.
reason for it. You might be thinking, so? Almost everyone is scared of the dark because something happened to them.
Yeah.
Well, that is true for me too. Here's my story. About 2 years ago, I ran away from home. I don't
Dang.
know just what I was thinking at the time, but I left with no food, no water, no belongings, and no coat. It was a very rainy day, and I sensed that I should either find shelter or I'd be soaking wet. So I decided to walk to my school and stay there for a few hours to dry off, as I was already wet and cold on a rainy day. As I arrived, I laid down my head and quickly fell asleep.
Oh no.
And when I woke up, it was pitch black outside, and I could barely make out anything.
You should find
I didn't have
hiding
a watch
spots.
or anything that tells the time, so I assumed it was midnight. At least it stopped raining, I thought. I decided to just go back home, as I wasn't far and I was very hungry that time. As I got up, I stopped.
Why?
There was something in front of me, under a street
Oh
light,
heavens
about
no.
50 yards away. It was a man about 6 feet tall.
Oh, you
and
better
he was
start
wearing
running.
a black coat with a hoodie over his face, so I couldn't see his face.
That means he's about to
At first,
kidnap
I
you
thought
in
it
your
was my
life or
dad who had
something
come to look
else.
for me, so I felt relief. But I didn't want to get into trouble, so I hid in a bush nearby and peeked out. The man was standing there and looked around for what it seemed like a half an hour. Then, under the light of the streetlight, he pulled something out of his pocket. I couldn't make it out at first, but then I realized it was a kitchen knife.
Oh no. Oh, he's about to stab the best out of you.
Then he started to run toward the bushes.
Oh, Dad, you better
No,
book it. Oh,
towards
heavens
me.
no.
Exactly. I grew frightened and sprinted out of the bushes like
Yeah,
an
you
arrow.
better.
He already knew I was there. I didn't stop running until I got home without ever looking
Oh,
back.
heavens no.
So I
Oh
survived.
no, you should know.
But to this day, I
That's
still wonder what
creepy.
would have happened if I didn't run on that day. Or worse, what would have happened if I didn't wake up at the school?
Oh, that girl
I
just got
developed my
murdered.
fear of the dark from this incident. It's so bad that now I have to sleep with a nightlight or the hallway light occasionally. Because I'm afraid that the man whom I saw will kill me or kidnap me someday if I don't turn the light on.
What? Oh, don't do it, Josh. Oh no, stop. I was attacked by a psycho in an
This fact
alleyway?
happened when I was 15 years old. Beginning of last year, 2018, when I finally got to sophomore year here in Brazil.
Okay.
It was an ordinary Friday night. Suddenly I felt a little bit hungry, so I decided to put on some clothes and go to the snack bar. It was barely 10 minutes from my house. I usually pass through the alley to go to the snack bar,
Oh,
but
why?
that time everything was so creepy in there. When I was halfway there, it was dark, empty.
Why would you go
abnormally
through the
cold and
alleyway? You're asking for
I felt
trouble.
slightly intimidated, but there was nothing there that could really harm me. So I decided to just go through that alley. Then I thought, nothing's gonna happen.
Oh,
I
that's
kept
way
going until
wrong.
I suddenly heard something weird on the other side of the alley. There was a man in there, staring at the walls in hunchback stance, grunting weirdly.
Oh, back
I
up.
found that incredibly creepy, but I was nearly at the snack bar, so all I needed was just to get out of that alley. Walk 1 minute more and I finally would get there, instead of making it all the way home with empty hands. Thus, I decided to ignore him and pass through after all. I finally passed through him. He turned to me and stared at me with a creepy
Oh
smile,
no. Oh no.
which made me walk a little bit faster, trying to avoid him.
Oh, he has a knife.
Then, suddenly, I heard a grunt and quick steps behind me. When I looked back, it was him. We were barely 2 feet away
No.
from each
Why
other.
are you not
He had a
moving?
kitchen knife in his right hand and jumped on me with amazing speed and tried to stab me.
Oh,
I managed to
damn.
grab both of his arms before he could get me.
Let's
However,
say
since he
a
was
go.
charging at me, he
Hiya,
still
or
had more
something like
energy to
that.
push me back and force me against a wall. I was terrified with all of that. I knew I would die if I didn't fight back. Back then, I was already trained in some martial arts to defend myself, but that I thought I'd never need to use that skill to defend my life
Damn.
until now.
Come on.
So, in a sudden burst of adrenaline, I managed to twist the wrist which he was holding the knife, kicking his stomach, and punching
Damn.
him mercilessly in the face
Damn.
several times.
Oh.
In the end, his face was bleeding so much, but his body was ignoring the pain of the blows in his body and only focusing on killing me. Finally, I used a training that I took before to twist both of his wrists and elbows harshly at the same time, forced in 2 different directions, and kicked the backside of his leg.
Damn,
into
he
the ground
took
until
care of this
ultimately
man.
he could drop the knife. It wasn't easy because he was struggling and punching my back and somehow trying to jump on me. But since I had his arm under my grasp, he couldn't do much without breaking himself. I slammed his head in the concrete ground, stunning him. Then kept striking his face desperately while kneeling over his arm so he wouldn't be able to react or reach his knife again.
God damn, he.
Then finally, he was out cold, bleeding a lot. My knuckles were full of blood and hurt. So I got up, took his knife, throwing it far away from there, and ran away from him. I finally got to the snack bar, washed my hands in there, and did everything I had to do before going back home. But obviously, I didn't take the same path as I did before.
Good.
But there were things that got much creepier. That was at the entrance of my apartment, where I heard screams coming from the other side of the street. It was the same crazy man. Now, seeming like he was possessed by a demon, and he was slamming his head on the iron door of my building's entrance. His face was horribly deformed and scarred from our fight.
Oh,
That
God.
freaked me out completely. My parents were on a trip, and the watchman of our building was on vacation.
Oh,
I
no.
wasn't going to fight that man again, so I decided to rush to my girlfriend's house.
Okay.
When I got there, she was home alone. She looked worried because I was looking pale, and there were still some marks of the man's blood on my clothes. I explained everything to her, and we called the police to come by my building. And when they arrived, the man was still in the entrance trying to force the doors unsuccessfully. When he saw the police, he attacked them.
Oh,
but got
dang.
quickly dominated by the cops. They explained that he was probably a crazy psycho in the streets looking for prey to rape, kill, or do anything he wanted to the person.
Oh, my God.
So they sent him to a high-security mental asylum for criminals, far away from my house. I feel so lucky that I survived that day, and I'm hoping that I will never see that man again.
Someone was beside me while I was sleeping.
When I was 10 or 11,
Oh,
my cousin and
that'd be
aunt visited
creepy.
us. We had fun throughout the day, and my aunt and cousin decided to sleep at my other aunt's house before leaving early in the morning. After such a fun day, I insisted upon sleeping at my aunt's house too, so I could spend more time with everyone. Later that night, we all fell asleep in the guest room, the only room that was available for us. I woke up suddenly at 5 a.m. I heard my mom and other aunt talking, so I was definitely awake. I saw that my cousin and aunt's things weren't there anymore, so I assumed they'd already left. I was about to fall back asleep. I looked at my left and saw someone sleeping beside me. I was about to hug her, thinking it was my 21-year-old girl cousin. But then I saw her face. She wasn't my cousin at all. She was someone I didn't know. But but she looked about the age of
The
my
speed
cousin.
of I will enter
She
the
wore
speed of light and
pajamas and a black
be
shirt,
gone.
and all I could do was stare at her. She started doing strange things, like stretching her legs up and down, and just focusing on the ceiling.
And you're
It was all
standing
so
there?
odd. But
Well,
feeling
sitting
tired,
there.
I eventually drifted off to sleep like nothing had happened.
I wanted.
I
I'll
woke
be
up at
gone.
8 a.m., looking at my left, and she was gone. I told everything to my mom and every family member in the house, but no one knew what I had experienced or who the girl was. My dad told me that my third eye was starting to see more, but I didn't really believe that. I'm turning 13 now, and that experience still remains a mystery to me. It never happened to me again, and hopefully it won't.
My friend nearly got us killed.
Hi, my name is Adil, and this is a true
That
story.
doesn't sound
The
surprising.
police have finished this case, and the man is in prison now. I was 14 at the time this took place.
Okay.
I was in a school and sitting in a history lesson that was so boring. My friend Noel, who was sitting opposite me, said I could come over on Saturday, as his parents were not going to be there because they were going on a weekend away. That meant we could stay up as long as we wanted. This was not uncommon, as we both invited each other to stay at one another's house, and I thought we were going to have a great time. Saturday came and I was so ready. I packed my essentials like my toothbrush, my new game, and my pepper spray.
Okay.
My parents always made me carry it, and I didn't mind because it made me feel safe too. I went on my way, and 30 minutes later, after walking, arrived to Noel's house. As he opened the door, he looked a little tense and shifty. I walked in and locked the door after me, to which he became even more anxious. I asked him if everything was all right, and he said it was. Not trying to put it down on the evening, I asked him if we could play the new game I bought. He wasn't really interested, but said yes anyway. After 30 minutes of watching him not playing, and just holding the controller in his hand, I switched off the TV and asked him what was going on. To which he replied, "I need your help." I asked him what he needed my help for. He told me that this man who added him on Facebook was actually stalking him in real life, and as to how he wanted to meet Noel.
Hey, you
warned him
brought
that
me
if he
to
told
your
his
house?
parents, he would kill them. So Noel, being the stupid idiot, he told him to come at 8 p.m., 5 minutes from now. He was scared, so he asked me to come to this meeting to get rid of him.
No. If I was here, if I was in the person that came there, I would be gone. I'm sorry. You could come with me if you actually no. You bring the trouble to my house. See, this is what you could do. You could call the police and let the police they come after him. But why would you tell your friend to come over? Will you have a psychopath that could kill both of them? Man. Whew.
That if he had told me at school, I never would have agreed to come. He was right. I felt betrayed that he brought me here under false pretenses.
Man.
I was also angry at his stupidity of him giving his address away as well.
Oh my
However,
God.
I had no time to argue.
Oh, smack the mess out of him
about
and
this
leave.
I grabbed my pepper spray and just sat there on the couch. The doorbell rang at 8 p.m. I just sat there hoping he would leave after a little bit. However, then I started to hear scratching and realized he was breaking in with some sort of tool. I quickly ran into the kitchen with Noel, and we heard the door lock get broken.
Damn.
And someone kicked the door in.
Oh, damn, he's
The
not
lights were
playing
on, and we
any
were hiding behind
games.
the large fridge.
You did grab a
man,
knife?
in a deep voice, shouted, "Noel!" We didn't reply. And then he shouted, "Noel, where the heck are you? I'm going to kill you." I had a plan. At this point, I pushed Noel out from behind the fridge.
Damn.
Noel started going back, and the man was walking forward.
He was ready to give up his friend.
As soon as he came near the distance of the fridge, I shot out and sprayed pepper spray in his eyes. He screamed in pain and then started swinging the screwdriver in his hand. I grabbed the screwdriver and picked up a pan laying there and hit him on the head. He
Damn.
blacked out. He was dressed in a smart suit and was clean shaven. We called the police and later found out that he was a man who was being monitored because there were several complaints of stalking and threatening behavior. They also found many tools in a bag he left near the door that would dismember a body.
Oh God.
Thankfully, this sicko didn't kill anyone. However, I'm now happy that Noel called me because I dread to think what would have happened if I wasn't there.
Oh dang. Well, that's the end of this horror retro video. But dang, he really pushed them. It's like, first off, this man really came in with a suit. It's like, if you're playing a murder show, have full black, have some goggles or some glasses, something to protect your eyes. At least be ready for anything. Just, damn, he's a terrible killer. Let's see, what was my favorite part of all of this? Probably this part, because the amount of anger I will be in. First of all, I would have slapped the mess out of my friend. If he brought me to his house, can I know he was. No, 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 no. If he gave his address to him, oh, I'm most certainly smacking the mess out of him and leaving. Just come on now. Plus, I get it, because now you you kind of feel better that you called him because you don't want your friend to die. But come on, you could have discussed a plan with me. You could have just said, told her to come at 8, like 8 p.m. and let the cops come around 8 like 5 or no 8:02 or something like so they could easily catch him. It's like dog. Oh, well, that's that's the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys like, subscribe. See you guys in the next video. Peace.